Why are people with less talent passing you? And it barely even bothers you anymore. And if you're being honest, when did you start getting comfortable with almost? Because that's what's happening. Not a collapse, not a disaster, just a slow acceptance. You're still functioning, still handling life, still saying, I'm going to get serious. But deep down, you can feel it. Your talent is sitting there like unused money in an account you never touch. And the nerve of it is this: you don't need more potential. You don't need another plan. You don't need another burst of motivation. You need one thing most people avoid facing: what your daily behavior is quietly proving. So pause for a second and answer this without defending yourself. If someone looked at your last 30 days, not your intentions, not your stress, not what you meant to do, just your actions, would they conclude you're hungry? Or would they conclude you're comfortable? If you're being honest, the first answer that shows up is usually the polite one, the surface answer. They got lucky. They had support. They had connections. They started earlier. And sometimes those things are true. But the honest answer, the one you feel before you explain it away, usually sounds different. It sounds like they didn't negotiate with themselves every day. They didn't need the perfect mood, the perfect moment, or the perfect plan. They didn't wait to feel ready before they moved. If you're being honest, you know the pattern. You think deeply, you plan intelligently, you see what needs to happen, and then you delay. Not because you're incapable, but because delay has become a habit you can justify. A habit that feels harmless because it doesn't look like failure. It looks like, I'll do it later. The surface answer says, they had something I don't. The honest answer says, they did something I keep avoiding. That isn't shame. That's clarity. And clarity is where change actually starts. Your patterns aren't proof that you're broken. They're proof that you have a system, whether you intended to build it or not. Patterns are repeated choices that became automatic. And automatic choices always reveal priorities and standards. If you consistently show up late to your own goals, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It means something else is being treated as more urgent, more comfortable, or more emotionally manageable. If you keep preparing but rarely finishing, it doesn't mean you lack intelligence. It means your brain has learned that preparation feels safer than exposure. Here's a pattern most people recognize but downplay. You can be extremely productive when someone else is watching. Deadlines, pressure, a boss, a grade, a client. You rise when the accountability is external. But when the accountability is internal, when it's just you keeping your word, you drift, you reorganize, you get ready. You wait for a feeling that never stays long enough. That's not a character flaw. That's information. Your patterns aren't insulting you. They're revealing what you've been training yourself to do. The real question isn't why someone with less talent is passing you. The real question is, can you count on yourself? Not when you're inspired, not when you're in a great mood, not when life is calm. I mean on a normal day, a tired day, a distracted day, a day when nobody claps for you, a day when the outcome feels far away. Because talent isn't what moves your life forward, reliability does. And reliability is personal. It's an identity level issue. When you don't follow through, you don't just lose progress, you lose self-trust. And when self-trust shrinks, you start requiring more motivation to do the same things you used to do naturally. You begin to hesitate before committing because you don't fully believe your own promises. That's the pivot. The issue isn't your ability, it's your relationship with your word. So let the deeper question sit there quietly. When you make a commitment to yourself, do you treat it like a real commitment? This feels uncomfortable because it removes the easy exits. It doesn't let you hide behind potential. It doesn't let you hide behind what you could do. It asks what you actually do, repeatedly, and it's normal to resist it. Avoidance isn't always weakness. Often, it's a coping strategy. Modern life is designed to hand you escape routes the moment anything gets tense. Endless scrolling, constant notifications, constant content, constant opinions. Discomfort shows up, and your hand reaches for relief before you even realize you're escaping. We've also been trained to misread discomfort as danger. If something feels heavy, we assume it's harmful. If something feels exposing, we assume we're not ready. But discomfort is often just your nervous system meeting growth, unfamiliar, unglamorous, and real. A cultural habit that reinforces this is dopamine productivity. Consuming tips, saving videos, watching someone else's discipline, and mistaking that feeling for progress. Comfort isn't evil, but it is persuasive, and it quietly teaches you to delay the exact things that would change your life. When you stop dodging the question, "Can I count on myself?" something shifts that's deeper than motivation. You get clarity, not loud, dramatic clarity, quiet clarity, the kind that feels like your mind stops arguing with itself. Because a lot of exhaustion isn't from doing too much. It's from carrying decisions you refuse to settle. It's from negotiating the same promises every day. I'll start tomorrow. I'll be consistent next week. I'll get serious when things slow down. That internal debate drains more energy than the work ever will. When you face the question honestly, your daily decisions feel cleaner. You don't inflate everything into a life or death moment. You don't need the perfect emotional state to begin. You start choosing based on alignment instead of mood. And there's relief in that. You don't wonder as much whether you're the kind of person who follows through. You start becoming that person, quietly, through repeatable decisions. Clarity is what consistency feels like on the inside. Here's what people miss. Inaction is not neutral, it's instruction. Every time you avoid the thing you said matters, you are quietly setting a standard for what you can expect from yourself, not in one dramatic moment, but through repetition. The standard isn't created by intensity. It's created by what you allow to happen again and again. It's okay if I delay. It's okay if I half finish. It's okay if I only show up when pressured. It's okay if my goals are optional. And over time, that standard hardens into identity. You don't just do unreliable things. You start believing you are unreliable. Then even small commitments feel heavy because you've trained your brain not to take your own promises seriously. This is why people with less talent pass you. They're not constantly reinventing themselves. They're reinforcing a standard. They show up at a level that becomes predictable, and predictability compounds. Your life doesn't rise to your talent. It rises to your standard, and your standard is being set, whether you admit it or not. If you keep living the way you've been living, making promises, delaying them, excusing it, repeating it, who are you training yourself to become? Because every time you say, "I'll do it tomorrow," you're not just postponing a task. You're reinforcing a relationship with yourself. You're practicing an identity. And identities don't form in breakthroughs. They form in what you repeatedly allow. Most people think the danger is falling behind other people. It isn't. The real danger is becoming someone you can't fully trust. Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet way. The kind that shows up when you hesitate before committing to anything meaningful because, deep down, you don't know if you'll follow through. Results come and go. Seasons change. Energy rises and falls. But the person you're becoming is being shaped either way, by what you do and by what you keep choosing not to do. So, let this be the question that stays with you. When nobody is watching and nothing is urgent, and the only person who will know whether you showed up is you, what standard are you willing to live by? And who are you becoming every time you choose not to?